Based on the intelligence input about the presence of a group of NSCN-KYA and the USPA cadres in the area. On 4th December 2021 at around 4:20 p.m., the operations team of the 21 para security forces had laid an ambush at Longkau between Upper Tiru and Oting. They opened fire at the white Bolero pickup vehicle, which was carrying 8 people belonging to Oting village, most of whom were working as laborers in the coal mines at Tiru, without ensuring positive identification and failing to carry out challenging procedure. This is as per the investigation. Investigation has also revealed that the operations team had not followed the standard operating procedure and the rules of engagement, and had resorted to disproportionate firing, leading to immediate killing of 6 occupants of the vehicle on the spot and previously injuring 2 persons. The investigation has revealed that when the villagers of Oting and Tiru reached the incident spot in search of the missing villagers and the Bolero pickup vehicle, they reached the site at around 2100 hours, that is 9 p.m. They turned violent upon discovering the dead bodies and the scuffle that ensued between the villagers and the operation team members of 21 para SF. One paratrooper succumbed to injuries, and 14 personnel of 21 para SF team sustained injuries as a result of the storm. This led the major to order to open fire at around 10 o'clock, and the operation team started to break contact. A separate FIR in crime number 28/21 has been registered by Tizil PS on 11/12/2021 under section 326, 435, 302, 307, and 34 IPC, and under section 25 brackets 1A Arms Act. This is against the unknown persons to investigate into the death of one paratrooper and assault on other personnel of the 21 para SF, including the loss of government property, based on complaint filed by 21 para SF, and the case is currently under investigation. This was about the Oting port. The second point is on the lifting of SPA, that is the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, from 15 police station areas within our state. We have immediately formed a special operations group. We have set up a security grid so that we can take over the security from the Assam Rifles. We have done so. We have taken over the security of these areas from the Assam Rifles, and we have set up a security grid with additional forces deployed within these areas. We are grateful to the Government of India for having sanctioned 6.5 crores on transport for our special operations group. So far, all the reports from these areas are normal. We are very much alert to any security threats in this area. We have also reached out to the various NGOs and the tribal hobos in this regard, under the approval of the government of Nagaland, that peace, tranquility, and harmony should remain in these areas. Third point that I wish to raise is about the check gates. There were many check gates run by many departments, but the government has issued an order to us that all such gates from henceforth should be closed, except for the 13 police station check gates which were on the borders. The interstate border check gates with the states of Assam and Manipur. This has been approved by the government of Nagaland to remain. In this regard, we have complied with the orders. We have recently had a meeting taken by the Chief Secretary regarding any applications by any departments who wish to reopen some of the gates. That decision is still awaited. In this regard, I also wish to point out that we have made the government aware, in fact, the other departments aware, that the government of Nagaland has approved and notified a uniform code for Nagaland police. That is the kind of uniforms which we are authorized to wear. These uniforms, unless approved by the government, shall not be used by any other government. So we have requested the other departments who are using uniforms similar to ours that they also review, then get the government approval for their uniforms. The fourth point is on the protection to the infrastructure companies, especially the road maintenance companies, which are all over the state. We have already started to give security to all these companies since a couple of years ago. Recently, one of the new companies which have entered, they have faced some issues. 5 complaints were received. We have registered 5 cases in this regard. The investigation is going on, and the investigation will be taken to its logical conclusion. Regarding the gates, I also wish to add that we have publicized certain numbers, mobile numbers, as well as one landline number. So far, we have received 24 complaints on these numbers. We have taken action on all 24 of them. Some were relating to some events that happened in the region. So this we have registered the case and handed over to the Assam police for necessary action. Fifth, I wish to say that we have launched a war on drugs and psychotropic substances since the last year. So this drive is still going on. This is in consonance with the government of India's Act is policy, wherein we wish to make the Northeast drug free. We understand that this is a long ongoing operation, but we are determined to make a difference. We are also very happy that many of the NGOs are starting to give their support to this war on drugs. So we look forward to more cooperation from the public. We look forward to receiving more complaints and intelligence so that we can control this very serious drug menace in our state of Nagaland. So in short, this is the opening remarks. So I'll like to hand over the mics to you all, so that if any queries you have, there are 3 of us here, we will try to answer.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Just give me one.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
In regards to the notification by the Home Commissioner, in regards to police policing duties, checking of vehicles in the state, inside the state. So it has been mentioned that the police should not be able to inspect or check stop vehicle for checking without the inspection team headed by the ADC, the DCP, member of the District Transport Office, and the DPRO. However, as per the 149 CRPC, it is mentioned that the police is to prevent cognizable offence, whereby I quote, every police officer may interpose for the purpose of preventing and shall, to the best of his ability, prevent the commission of any cognizable offence. So in this scenario, what I would like to put up is, how will the police stop a cognizable offence if he is not able to stop a vehicle, to inspect a vehicle?
Here, I would just like to say that the Home Commissioner's orders, this is about the district task force, the inspection teams, which will be headed by the DC and the SP. This is to check that there are no gates which are stopping vehicles. And as you rightly said, under the section of the CRPC, we are duty bound to stop the commission of any crime. So I think that small the translation of that Home Commissioner's order. So I think I'm just correcting. This investigation district task force is to ensure that no one is collecting at the taxes, not to stop us.
If I may add to what the respected DGP has said, the government notification dated 19 has reflected upon that definition. However, the detailed order issued by the PH2 dated 21st. We have given very clear directions to all the district police, including the CPD, about the responsibilities of implementation of the government notification. The implementation part is on the department, and wherein we have given clear directions on, based on any input about transportation of any illegal substance. See, the point here is that when the government removed the check gates, except for the check gates, interstate check gates, there were a lot of other department check gates also existed, not only the police, the veterinary, the excise, and so on and so forth. Now, police cannot be the expert on subject like veterinary subject or mining related aspect. So the government notification, the spirit of the government notification was that district inspection team, which would be having the representative of all other departments, would be constituted, and based on the information, they will be empowered to check it. So the PH2 directions that we have issued by 21st, it is made very clear that based on the information, the vehicle will be intercepted by the nearest police unit, be it the mobile squad or the patrolling unit or the OC, will take the suspect vehicle to the nearest police station. The information will be given to the district inspection team, which will have an expert member of all the departments. Thereafter, the team will come and inspect the vehicle. In no way it reduces or dilutes the authority of the police as mentioned in CRPC to conduct MDCP or check any other. I think I need to make that clear. I hope I'm clear on that. Thank you.
Coming to the SIT report, I believe you will be giving us an account.
Yeah.
So, the ambush as per the SIT report happened around 4:20 p.m. Right? And the para soldiers, the para commandos opened fire at around 10 p.m. So, what transpired in those 5 to 6 hours, aside from them opening fire?
See, the detailed police investigation report in the form of a charge sheet is placed in the competent court. It's quite an exhaustive charge sheet along with a lot of other details. It would not be correct for me to say anything on this since it is in the public domain. I can only request my friends here, if you wish to have the detailed investigation, kindly approach the honorable court. I think you will have all the details. We will be issuing a press brief that the DGP has, but I do not think so that it's an appropriate forum to discuss the entire investigation.
In the previous press conference, the same, and I'd like to repeat it again. I wanted to know about the performance of the check gates that were closed down for the past month or the year, in terms of the serious arrests and the deployments that were made at this check gates.
Yeah, in fact, I discussed with my DG after we spoke. Then he has formed a team to look into it. Your point is absolutely correct. See, now we have to know that if we had these check gates, what was the success rate? That's the point you asked. So we have started to get all the data from the various gates so that we will compile it and we will get that. We are from this window.
Excuse me, actually, it's a combination of 3-4 questions. So, putting those questions into perspective, I would want to question the performance, the sincerity of the police department in investigating certain crimes. I would like to bring to mind, starting from September last year, there was the case of missing ball biscuits. Some certain number of police, narcotics and police personnel were suspended as per the report issued by the DG's office that time. Now, after that, I think in recent time, in recent memory, in April, there was a case of the suspected fuel adulteration racket, which was exposed by the RPP in Dimapur. And recently, there was a murder case. A youth from Assam was assaulted and he succumbed, it seems. as per the report we see. And then there's another. Anyway, I'll come back to that. So, I mean, there's a common thread that linking all this. I mean, it points to insincerity on the part of the police department to come clean, to come public with information about the investigation. I mean, how far? I mean, what are the status of those cases? That's what I think. All cases where I mean, in all the cases, formal complaints were registered by. What are the status of those cases?
I'll comment on your case which was registered at the State Crime Police Station about the case that you mentioned about you said missing, I would say misappropriation of certain number of suspected gold estates or gold cubes. So a case was registered in the special State Crime Police Station by SP rank officer, the SP cyber cell with the chief IO of the case. The misappropriated gold items seized and kept in the has been submitted to the Honorable Kohima Sessions Court. The 7 persons who were suspects and subsequently accused were placed under suspension, and they are transferred out of the police headquarters to various other units till such time the investigation is completed. The investigation is in a final phase. We are trying to ascertain and locate the chain at the place of origin. That I can tell you. In fact, as we are speaking, a team is already out of the state to ascertain the place of origin of the seized items. And subsequently, based on the criminal investigation, the department has also initiated departmental inquiry against the delinquent persons. And the inquiry is also started. This is about the status of the first case that you mentioned. Since CP Dimapur is here, I will request him to brief you on the remaining cases.
Before that, I want to come back to the point again. I mean, what was the reason? What was the grounds for all the secrecy, all the confidentiality about the case? Because it happened in September, early September. It came to light only in October. So I feel as per
there is no secrecy. Our department is not trying to hide anything. As soon as the information reaches the DGP asks immediately on the file to register a case. And if I can reiterate, sensing the gravity of the situation, an IPS officer in the rank of SP has been made done. So I do not think that there is any secrecy or the department was trying to hide.
Yeah. Regarding the allegations of or so-called the alleged adulteration, because according to the police and according to the law, till the case is proved, we cannot say it is adulteration, because we cannot, before the investigation, we cannot conclude like that. So-called that alleged this adulteration, where the case has been registered, and last time also I think we have given this press statement that the sample has been sent outside the lab for the confirmation here. So when this sample was seized, the police alone never seized this kind of missing. So the administration, the department, and then All India, so All India company. So this is investigation is not done only by this so-called adulteration. It never investigated by the police. The police will do the investigation, but the sample collection, all these things, police cannot do independently. So there is no question of insincerity, because in the absence of the report, we cannot conclude, and police cannot submit a charge sheet or a final report. So there is a case is under thorough investigation. And regarding that Assamese boy, one unfortunate incident, that one also last time in the president, I have already briefed last press meeting on 6. So 5 persons have been arrested, And there was this year, I want to make it clear that because in the media, we saw that some of the allegations that there was a pressure, that's why police were not taking the season. Any case without a proper investigation, without proper inquiry, we cannot just go and register the case also. So all the FIRs are not 100% correct. So after the thorough investigation and the inquiry only, we are doing all these things. And the case was, as I said, the SIT is investigating this case. And we have arrested a 5 person. So there was no pressure or nothing. That's why the police were delayed and then the police were taking case on all those allegations. I want to make it clear that there was no such thing. We are doing sincerely, and the case has been investigated by the SIT. But now we have to wait for some postmortem and some forensic report. So the case is under thorough investigation.
I have another question. Has the closure of the jail gates in any way affected your operation on the war against drugs, where usually your findings are that drugs are being seized from vehicles that are being transported? So has it in any way affected the closure of gates?
Yeah, not really. Recently also, like the last few days, we have been seizing like drugs. And the war on drugs is really dependent on intelligence. Intelligence and complaints. So when complaints are there, for example, in Chang'e, in one house, somebody is abusing and also selling. So we raid such a house and we have succeeded to arrest. Most of the cases is on intelligence, like in vehicles. And as you know, like Nagaland is a transit area. You know, drugs from Myanmar side to like More and all that. The other small groups and all that. So the vehicles enter. So we have our sources who inform us, and also we also look at the patterns. Like, for example, like a vehicle and the driver when he stops, how he behaves and all. So it depends on the intelligence of the officer also, who has stopped the vehicle. A lot of factors are involved. But overall, the intelligence is.
If I may add to what respected DGP has said, your question was that, if I understand correctly, if the checkgates are closed, will it have any adverse impact on the government? So I think that was the statement of the question. In addition to what the DGP sir has said, I must say that besides the intelligence point and other thing, now since last couple of years, through the direction of the government of India, there is a very good coordination between the different state police agencies and also with the NCB, Narcotics Control Bureau of Government of India. There is a good infrastructure and good structure present in the form of something called as NCOR, wherein there is a sharing of information. So the sharing of information is not only based on the sources, but also the official sharing of information. It has become much easier. So not necessarily that only the suspected vehicles would be stopped at the check gates. Last couple of weeks, after the government's direction of closing all the check gates except the interstate check gates, under the direction of the DGP, the entire narcotics branch of Nagaland police has been restructured, reconstituted, and we have now decided that smaller teams will be acting not only in Kohima and Benapur, but also all over the state, and will be identifying and closing all other alternative routes also which are suspected routes. So I must say that we have changed our strategy of not depending on the check gates for intercepting the suspected vehicles, but now we'll go and start targeting the other suspected routes as well. I think that answers your question. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Just wanted to ask in continuation to Meadow's question. now that some areas still have the army present, and those areas will not have check gates from the Nagaland government side, police, will that give more authority to the Indian army to frisk more and to keep a harder check on what's coming in inter-district? Does that give the army more authority? Because if the Nagaland police is not present to curb certain things and the Indian army is present, that gives them a lot more authority, I suppose.
See, there are two aspects to it. The armed forces, including Indian Army, in the form of some rifles, or the other armed forces, they operate in the state because the state, of course, leaving aside the 15 police stations, which has been declassified as a disturbed area, and the Armed Forces Special Power Act is withdrawn from this 15 police stations. They act because they have been empowered, they have been given certain policing powers under the Armed Forces Special Power Act. Now, if I understand your question correctly, you are saying that since the check gates within the state are removed, now whether there would be increased role of armed forces. That's what your question is.
Yes, in a more authoritative manner.
The more authoritative manner could be very subjective, I must say that. But all those areas which is still classified as a disturbed area, wherein the armed forces have the authority under the Armed Forces Special Power Act, they have to work and conduct their operations along with the police representative. It is desirable under their own rules and norms, under their own standard operating procedure, that as far as possible, all such operations of armed forces, including MBCPs, checking of the vehicles, etc., they should have a police role. If you are asking if they would be more authoritative, I do not feel they would be more authoritative, because there are certain rules and guidelines under which all the agencies are supposed to function. Having said that, if you meant to say that there would be more check gates or temporary checkpoints on behalf of the armed forces, to my understanding, some rifle and other armed forces also put up the check gates based on the specific information only, and that too only after taking a police raid and keeping the local OC of the police jurisdiction under information. This is the best way I can answer.
So one more. Has the Assam Rifles vacated the places covered by the 15 police stations?
Those 15 police stations, which is no more disturbed area, and the Armed Forces Special Power Act will remove. Assam Rifles have thinned out, I may say. They have not totally vacated their camps and the permanent bases that they have. They have pulled out from these areas since the government has withdrawn their authority to perform their operations in these areas.
Here I can add here. Very. Actually, the withdrawal of the Assam does not automatically mean that they have to withdraw. They have their camps and all. It is just that their functions are now restricted to them. They have thinned out. So now, for example, the police role has increased. For example, like if there is an NMPG camp nearby, so the enforcement of the safe entry rule, now they will not enforce it, we will enforce. Then also, like for example, some VVIP security comes like to those areas. So the entire security we will have it without the air. So just the functions of the air. So in their own way, the IGAR has like made me understand that their presence in that area has been thinned out. The troops have been sent to areas where like they were required, where the outside is still there. That's
one last question for me. It's not every day that you get to interact with the police chief of the state. So my question is related to corruption, especially in the police department. It's not about diverting funds. It's related to the checkposts. We cannot deny the fact that the police are collecting money from commercial vehicles in the checkposts. It's an open secret. Has the police drawn up a plan to combat this, stop it?
Yes, this is the complaint that I've been receiving since I went up here. So, in our own way, we have told the CP and the SP that nobody should be in that jacket for more than a week or a fortnight. Because then when they are staying in that jacket for sometimes for years, they have developed contact. Yes, we have got complaints and we have taken action. For example, in Kohima, I remember, one officer, he was collecting from the vehicle. So SP sent a team, got him, we have suspended him. The inquiry is over, and I think we have demoted him. So such actions will go on. I think, and now, so we have told the CP the speed. Now the interstate checking. There, we have also put the 1 month section of the IRO, the arms force, so that checks and balances are. Am I ADG with it?
Sir has elaborately mentioned that. I just want to add a couple of more points. So wherever we have received complaints, we have taken necessary action. Now, after the government notification dated 19th May, the constitution of the district inspection team is exactly for the same purpose, that in case if there are any complaints with regard to collection of money illegally, including the police department, they are supposed to work on that. And with that spirit in mind, we have started a dedicated control room, the state police control room, with a dedicated numbers and an email. So I'll take this opportunity to make an appeal to the public at large also, that in case if any person from the police department is seen checking or collecting the money, not for checking, collecting the money which he is not supposed to do, kindly inform the control room, kindly inform these two dedicated numbers or the email. We have already mentioned this. I'll again reiterate it. If the informant wants to keep his or her identity secret, it would be totally protected. I think the department, under the leadership of our respected deputy, we are quite clear that corruption has no scope in any form, including at the check. Thank you.
For argument's sake, we all know there's a clamor among the police stations to get posted at the checkpost.
These are
I'll only concentrate into Dimapur district and Nagaland, but those allegations are wrong, because that without proof, because there is no such pressure, and then the deployment is done by the officials, so that there is no such priority that it is not like that. As Aditi has mentioned, the rotation is only for 1 week, and it's always been issued with a specific instruction. So there may be too many rumors, but unless we come with a specific complaint, then we cannot take action also, because we cannot take action against all the police personnel posted to the JGN or in the conducting NBCP. So when there is a complaint, we are taking action also. And I think, as far as I know, more than the thing for not only the corruption alone, but misbehavior and all this. So we have taken so many actions against so many personnel also. So we are taking actions as and whenever we receive their complaint. But otherwise, just because of somebody's posted one personal opinion into media, and we cannot take action like that. So, but as our senior officers, our DG and ADG have mentioned, if there is any complaint, even Dimapur also, we have a control room, and this is repeatedly, we are publishing in the paper also. So the number is 70850-550-050. That is our control room. And all the police station, anytime, any day that any citizen can lodge a complaint. Or even this, they can directly call CP or this other officers also.
My question is in regards to online scam. So the state has witnessed lots of online scam through social media platforms and all. So what I would like to know is how, if the state police has been doing something to curb online scamming, and also has there been any online scamming investigation being solved by the state police?
Yeah, like here I'll speak on the policy level, because yes, cyber crime is on the increase. I mean, it's really one of the top issues for us. So now, when the NPS cadre review was done, we were asked for our opinion. So we said that previously the cyber crime cell was headed by a device. So now, after the NPS cadre review, we have ensured, the government has approved, that an SP level officer would head it. Now we have an IPS officer, Mr. Unil Kicho, who is heading it. So that is at the policy level. Now for other details, I'll ask my ADP.
As informed by respected DPP, the government, looking into the gravity of the increasing online cases, including the economic offences, online economic offences, the government has upgraded and SP rank officer has taken over the cyber crime police station at the PH. However, I want to make this point very clear. There appears to be some kind of confusion in the mind of the general public that any offence relating to the IT Act, basically the cyber offences, what we say, has to go to only the cyber police station brigade. No, that's not the case. Any complaint pertaining to IT Act can be given to the nearest police station. We are trying last 2 years to upgrade and improve the skills of the IOs at all levels. The PHQ has, in principle, has made an agreement with the NELIT also to improve the skills and the capacity building of our officers. Specific question that you asked, whether there are complaints, yes. There are a lot of complaints in the form of online complaints or physical complaints which comes to the police station, and I'm sure to the city Dimapur and other districts also. And in last 1 year, we have at least registered 6 such complaints, including a complaint about HEZ token scams. And these complaints were given to us by some of the concerned citizens. After making due preliminary inquiries, when we found that there are prima facie evidences to convert it to a criminal offence, we registered the cases and the cases are under investigation. Mind you, these cases are quite technical in nature and spread all over the country. There are most of these cases will have jurisdictions outside the state, and so there is an effective coordination at the state crime police station, which is under the PHQ, also with the cyber police station. And also, I would want to reiterate that, realizing the gravity of the increasing online cases, online scams, and the word that we used, along with other economic offences, the government has also constituted a SP economic offences bank in PHQ. So we have an institution of SP economic offences bank with a very specified charter of duties for it. So the PHQ is actually aware of the things, and we are trying to take structural measures to address this issue. Thank you.
Final question from my answer. Sir, in line with your war on drugs, I you must be aware about the high prevalence of drug users in the police department itself. So I'm curious to know actually how are you dealing with it? Your own police personnel taking drugs and how the police dealing with this, especially in regards to the war on drugs? Is it not just on other areas? Are you also concerning, within your own department?
Yes, certain specific info we have been given. For example, I remember in Yajang, so one of the personnel, he was in the habit of abusing, and also he was getting it from Assam and, trying to sell it. So he was caught, we arrested him, and I think the departmental inquiry has been done. So we also depend on specific info, like a general saying that, like drug abuse is everywhere in the department. So I think if there are specific info, do share it with us.
To continue on that question, I think the case in Yajang, which the BGP just mentioned, I think it can't be an exception. I think there will be many other cases, many other Jawans who are abusing drugs. But don't you think that it is not always wise to use the rod?
Well, it would be wise to say that there are no issues within the department. There are issues. There are, and as and when there are information or complaints about use of banned substances by the Jawans, we do tend to take corrective measures in the form of disciplinary action. However, I would wish to say that more than the corrective measures, the counseling is required for the Jawan and for the department, and therefore, at all districts level and all the battalion level, we have our teams headed by the senior officer, including members from all ranks, wherein we do counsel, we do take the help of NGOs, the expert bodies, to give the counseling to our Jawans, our families. I agree with you on that. Taking action always is not going to solve the problem. So we are aware of that. We are sensitive to these issues, and we do conduct regular counseling sessions. We do encourage our senior officers to speak to our own men who are suspected to be having this problem. So I can assure you that the department is tackling this problem at multiple levels. Maybe we can have last 3 or 4 questions. Otherwise, we'll go on and on. There are any?
Nothing is coming from the right side. Everything is there. So, like, in fact, about this online scamming, I just want to share that, sheepishly, that I am also a victim recently. I never heard. Somebody took my photo, put it on his or her profile, and then sent messages to all my officers, including CP, including ADG. They're asking, hi, where are you? And then like saying that, send some amount. Yeah, like GPay, like it's a digital account. So, like, it is real, this is really serious.
You would have seen that's the reason why we, the department, last couple of months, having regular basis, we have been issuing the advisories to the public at large, how to protect their personal profiles and other things. So we cannot deny, IT is here to stay, the social media is here to stay, the internet is here to stay. So we are going to have this issue, we just need to take care of the problem.
Sir, sextortion is also on the rise, which is a cybercrime issue. So the latest case must be of the state BGP president, in Nagaland. In this regard, we see that there is a rise in the sextortion cases. After we done the story and post the pandemic, there seems to be a rise. So what is the rate now, and how are you dealing with this? Because most cases are go unreported also?
Ma'am, about the particular case that you mentioned, I have also, I got the information only through the social media, I must say. And the victim has so far has not approached the police for taking any action on that. We got to know only through the social media. That is part one. Part two, yes, the extortion related offences are happening. Till now, at least in the cyber police stations or any other police stations in PH2, we have not received any such content about the extortion related. I can't say if CP Dimapur, have you received any such content wherein?
No, sir.
So, while addressing to your question, I cannot deny that it doesn't happen, but I'm saying that we are not getting any complaint. Maybe for various reasons, maybe social taboo or a lot of other things it may be there, but we are not receiving the complaints. But in case if we receive the complaint, and we are not even shy of taking so much cognizance on it, provided the victim is ready to come forward and identify and ask us to take action.
May I have one last question?
Yeah. I mean, some previous question back you said the same thing. That's what the last question, but that's okay.
No, since that side, there's no nothing to that
So
side.
you are trying to cover up the question from that side as well.
Yeah.
Fine.
Ajay, is with in relation with regard to the misuse of government property, especially people, and especially by the police department, by the police officer. So I want to with that bringing that into context, I want to relate one story. It was called one of my colleagues told me. I mean, he sold one STF pickup that Isuzu pickup that's used for special operation. It was being used to transport construction material. How is the department, has the government any plan or any, what you say, SOP on the use of this property?
The government has taken note of this issue and last week has issued a direction for making a detailed scheme, if I may say, detailed program for preventing the misuse of government vehicles, including especially about the Nagaland vehicles. Subsequent to that, the PHQ has issued directions, clear directions to all the unit commanders, including the PHQ vehicle, that no police vehicle will fly unless there is a proper command with that. Well, basically that means the vehicle is on the official duty. And in case if a vehicle is supposed to go out of the state, it has to go out of the state only with the approval of the concerned range DIDs and directors. So the PHQ has taken a very strong note of certain allegations and certain information regarding the misuse of the vehicles, and we have put in a system now to prevent misuse of this.
Sir, this question is for you, sir. Regarding back to the Oting incident, the 30 members of the 21 aggressor, the accused, were they suspended throughout this course of time? And secondly, can we officially now say that Amit Shah's statement in Parliament is being denounced of mistaken identity after this whole investigation? Can we say that right now? And if they were suspended throughout this whole period?
With regard to your question number one, I do not want to comment on the internal disciplinary proceedings of the army, and the word suspension per se is basically applicable to the civil servants service conduct. I do not know if the same word is being used for the army person, because they get covered under different service conduct. However, as far as my information goes, the suspects now accused during the investigation of the criminal case which was done by the SIT and also parallelly by the court of inquiry by the army, they were not attending the office, they were attached to the court of inquiry office. So I am not in a position to say if the word suspension is correct to use here. That is part one. Part 2 question, I have no comment to say on that because the investigation is completed. The charge sheet is in front of the competent honorable court, and it's for the court to decide about the status of the investigation. No comments on that.
Thank you.
I think if that's all, we can conclude it officially. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I request all of you join us for a cup of